You understand the 5-year structure. You understand why it takes 5 years. You understand what each year emphasizes. But now comes the moment where understanding becomes action, where knowledge transforms into implementation. And this is where almost everyone gets stuck. The gap between knowing and doing is enormous. You can understand the 5-year protocol intellectually. You can think it sounds great. You can imagine yourself having done it. But when Monday morning arrives, when you're standing in your kitchen at 6 in the morning trying to figure out what to eat, when you're looking at your messy bedroom wondering how to optimize it for sleep, when you're trying to figure out what exercises to do, that's when most people freeze. Because nobody has told them specifically what to do. This video closes that gap. I'm going to tell you exactly what to do in year 1. Not guidelines, not suggestions, specific protocols, specific exercises, specific timing, specific measurements, the exact sequence that builds the foundation everything else is built on. And we're going to start with month 0 because you need a baseline. You need to know where you're starting or you won't know if you're making progress. Month 0, baseline measurements. Before you change anything, you measure. You need a clear baseline. You need to know exactly where you're starting so that in month 3, month 6, and month 12, you can measure progress objectively. Here's what you measure in month 0. Body composition. You need to know your body fat percentage and your muscle mass. The best way to do this is a DEXA scan if you have access to one. A DEXA scan costs about $200 and gives you precise body composition, bone density, and lean mass data. If you don't have access to DEXA, use a high-quality body composition scale, not just a regular scale, a scale that measures body fat percentage through bioelectrical impedance. These cost $50 to $100 and are reasonably accurate if you use them consistently. Write down your total weight, body fat percentage, and estimated lean mass. Cardiovascular baseline. You measure resting heart rate. Take your pulse first thing in the morning before getting out of bed. Count your beats for 60 seconds. Write it down. Average resting heart rate is 60 to 80 beats per minute. You're establishing your baseline. If you have access to VO2 max testing through a gym or clinical setting, that's excellent. But at minimum, establish resting heart rate. You'll also measure how long it takes for your heart rate to recover after a training session. More on this later. Blood work. Get a comprehensive blood panel. This includes lipid panel, glucose levels, thyroid function, inflammatory markers like C-reactive protein, and if possible, hormone levels like testosterone or cortisol. This costs anywhere from $100 to $300 without insurance. You're establishing baseline for all these markers. This is important data. Strength baseline. Establish baseline strength. Do a few basic movements and see how much weight you can handle. For squats, find the weight you can do for 5 solid repetitions with good form. For deadlifts, same thing. For bench press or horizontal push, same thing. These don't need to be your maximum, you're just establishing baseline. Write these down. Movement quality. Assess your current movement quality. Can you squat full range without compensating? Can you touch your toes? Can you reach overhead comfortably? Can you rotate your spine? Assess your current movement quality. You're establishing baseline movement patterns. Energy and sleep. Assess your current energy levels. Rate your energy on a scale of 1 to 10 at different times of day. Assess your current sleep quality. How many hours are you sleeping? How is sleep quality? Are you waking up rested? This is baseline. Body measurements. Measure your waist, chest, hips, thighs, arms. These are more meaningful than weight for tracking progress. Weight can fluctuate, but body measurements show fat loss and muscle gain more accurately. Write all of this down. Take photos. Document your baseline clearly. This is month 0. This is your starting point. Month 1, week by week. Month 1 is about establishing the foundation. You're learning new protocols. You're establishing new habits. You're making initial adaptations. This is exciting. This is where you see rapid initial progress. Week 1. You begin resistance training, 3 days per week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday works well. You're doing basic compound movements. Here's a simple structure. Day 1, lower body focus. Squats, 2 warm-up sets of 5 reps, then 3 working sets of 8 reps each. Deadlifts, 2 warm-up sets of 5 reps, then 3 working sets of 5 reps. Leg press, 3 sets of 10 reps. Leg curls, 3 sets of 10 reps. Total training time about 45 minutes. Day 2, upper body push focus. Bench press or push-ups, 2 warm-up sets, then 3 working sets of 8 reps. Overhead press, 3 sets of 6 reps. Incline press, 3 sets of 8 reps. Tricep dips or tricep extensions, 3 sets of 10 reps. Total training time, about 45 minutes. That's your resistance training. It's straightforward, it's basic, but it's effective. You're training 3 days per week. You're resting on the other days. On days when you're not doing resistance training, you do cardiovascular work. 2 days per week of moderate intensity conditioning, Tuesday and Thursday, for example. Cardiovascular training week 1, 30 minutes of moderate intensity. What does moderate intensity mean? You're working at a level where you can talk but not sing. Your breathing is elevated but controlled. Heart rate is around 60 to 70% of maximum. For most people, this is a brisk walk, light jog, or steady cycling. You're not trying to go hard, you're establishing aerobic base. Sunday, 1 day of complete rest, or active recovery. A gentle walk, yoga, nothing structured. Nutrition, you're removing processed foods. You're eating whole foods, vegetables, fruits, proteins, whole grains. You're eating 3 meals per day. You're not counting calories obsessively, you're just eating real food. You're also starting intermittent fasting. This means a 14 to 16-hour fasting window daily. Simple way, your last meal is at 7 p.m. You don't eat again until 9 a.m. or later the next day. During the fasting window, you drink water, coffee, or tea without additives. Stress management. You're establishing daily practice. 10 to 15 minutes of meditation or breathing work. You can use a meditation app like Headspace or Calm. You're doing this every morning or evening. You're not perfect, you're establishing protocol. Week 2, everything continues. You're learning the movements, you're getting stronger already, you're adapting to training. You're learning how your body feels with whole food nutrition. You're probably sleeping better, you probably have more energy. Week 3, you should be increasing weight on your resistance training exercises. You've learned the movements, now you're adding more weight, not dramatically, but small increases. 5 pounds on bench press, 10 pounds on squats. You're making steady progression. Week 4, end of month 1, you remeasure. Take a body composition measurement. Measure resting heart rate. Measure strength on your basic movements. You can see progress already. You've lost a few pounds of fat. You've probably gained a small amount of muscle. You feel stronger. You have more energy. This month 1 structure continues through the end of March if you start in January.
Months 2 and 3. Learning phase. Months 2 and 3, you continue the same basic structure. You're learning, you're adapting, you're making steady progress. The resistance training remains the same basic structure. 3 days per week, same exercises, but you're adding weight and reps progressively. You're getting stronger. The cardiovascular work remains the same. 2 days per week of moderate intensity work. But now you're getting more aware of how your body responds. You're learning how different foods affect your energy. You're learning how sleep quality affects recovery. You're learning how stress affects your training. By month 3, this should all feel more normal. Training is part of your routine. Eating whole foods is normal. You're sleeping better. You have more energy. Month 3 measurements. You remeasure everything. Body composition, strength, resting heart rate, sleep quality, energy levels. You can see 3 months of progress. You've probably lost 10 to 15 pounds of fat. You've gained 5 to 10 pounds of muscle. Strength has increased noticeably. You feel completely different than month 1. Months 4 through 6, progression phase. By month 4, you've established foundation. The initial rapid adaptation is over. Now you're entering the phase where you push harder. Resistance training progression. You increase training frequency. You go from 3 days per week to 4 days per week. You add more volume, more sets, more reps, more intensity. Sample structure: 4 days per week. Day 1, lower body, heavy focus. Squats, 3 warm-up sets, then 4 working sets of 5 to 6 reps at heavier weight. Deadlifts, 3 warm-up sets, then 3 working sets of 3 to 5 reps. Leg press, 3 sets of 8 reps. Leg curls, 3 sets of 10 reps. Day 2, upper body push, moderate intensity. Bench press, 3 working sets of 8 reps. Incline dumbbell press, 3 sets of 8 reps. Overhead press, 3 sets of 6 reps. Tricep work, 3 sets of 10 reps. Day 3, cardiovascular work, 30 to 40 minutes, moderate intensity. Day 4, upper body pull, moderate intensity. Pull-ups, 4 sets of 5 to 8 reps. Rows, 3 sets of 6 to 8 reps. Lat pull-downs, 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps. Bicep work, 3 sets of 10 reps. Day 5, cardiovascular work, 30 to 40 minutes, moderate intensity. Days 6 and 7, rest and recovery. Cardiovascular training, 2 structured days per week of moderate intensity work. 30 to 40 minutes, you might be getting stronger and more capable, so intensity naturally increases even though you're not trying to go hard. Nutrition, continuing to eat whole foods. You're more aware of how nutrition affects training. You're eating more protein around training. You're eating more carbohydrates on training days. You're still doing intermittent fasting. You're staying consistent. Sleep, continuing 8 hours nightly. Sleep is good. Energy is high. Stress management, continuing daily practice. You're noticing that stress management makes a real difference in how you feel and recover. Resistance training protocol details. Let me give you more specifics on the resistance training because this is the foundation. You're using compound movements, squats, deadlifts, presses, rows. These are the foundation. You're using relatively heavy weight, heavy enough that the last rep of each set is challenging, not so heavy that form breaks down. For strength-focused sets, you're doing 5 to 8 reps. For moderate strength and muscle building, 6 to 10 reps. For muscle-focused, 10 to 15 reps. You're resting enough between sets, 2 to 3 minutes for heavy compound movements, 1 to 2 minutes for lighter movements. Progressive overload. Each week, you're trying to do slightly more than the previous week, more reps, or more weight, or more sets, or better form. Something progresses. This is critical. Without progression, adaptation stops. Form first. You're not lifting heavy if form is compromised. You're lifting heavy enough to challenge yourself while maintaining good form. This is the balance. Cardiovascular training details. You're doing 2 structured days per week of moderate intensity work. Moderate intensity, 60 to 70% of maximum heart rate. You can talk but not sing. Your breathing is elevated but controlled. This could be brisk walking, jogging, cycling, rowing, swimming, or any sustained effort at this intensity. Duration, 30 to 40 minutes. You're building aerobic capacity. You're not trying to go fast. You're trying to sustain effort. Examples: 30-minute easy jog, 40-minute bike ride, 30-minute swim, 30-minute rowing session, steady walk on incline for 40 minutes. You're not doing high-intensity intervals yet. You're building aerobic base. This is the foundation.
Nutrition protocol. You're eating whole foods primarily. No processed foods, no added sugars, no refined grains. Foods to emphasize: vegetables, all colors, raw, cooked, whatever form. Eat abundance. Fruits, all types. Focus on lower sugar fruits like berries, but all fruits are fine. Proteins: fish, chicken, beef, eggs, beans, legumes, variety. Healthy fats: olive oil, avocado, nuts, seeds, fatty fish. Whole grains: brown rice, quinoa, oats, whole wheat, in moderation. Foods to eliminate: processed foods, added sugars, refined grains, seed oils except olive oil in moderation, alcohol, caffeinated beverages, coffee and tea are fine in moderation. Macronutrient breakdown. Protein, 1 gram per pound of body weight. If you weigh 180 pounds, eat 180 grams of protein daily. Fat, 20 to 30% of total calories. This supports hormone production. Carbohydrates, the remainder. You'll adjust based on how you feel. If you weigh 180 pounds, you might eat breakfast, 3 eggs, oatmeal with berries, olive oil for cooking, 30 grams protein, 40 grams carbs, 15 grams fat. Mid-morning, Greek yogurt with almonds and berries, 20 grams protein, 25 grams carbs, 10 grams fat. Lunch, 4 ounces chicken, sweet potato, vegetables with olive oil, 40 grams protein, 40 grams carbs, 15 grams fat. Pre-training, banana with almond butter, 15 grams protein, 30 grams carbs, 10 grams fat. Post-training, rice with fish and vegetables, 40 grams protein, 60 grams carbs, 15 grams fat. Dinner, beef, vegetables, olive oil, 40 grams protein, 30 grams carbs, 20 grams fat. Snack if needed, nuts or cheese, 15 grams protein, 10 grams carbs, 15 grams fat. This totals about 180 grams protein, 230 grams carbs, 100 grams fat. You adjust based on body composition changes and how you feel. Intermittent fasting, 14 to 16-hour daily fast. Eat your meals in an 8 to 10-hour window. This supports cellular health and weight loss. Sleep optimization protocol. Sleep is not optional. Sleep is where recovery happens. Environment, cool, 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Dark, no light. Use blackout curtains if needed. Quiet, earplugs if needed. Comfortable, good mattress, good pillows. Schedule, same bedtime every night, same wake time every day. This establishes circadian rhythm. Consistency matters more than perfect timing. Pre-sleep routine, 1 hour before bed, no screens, no phone, no TV, no computer. Read, write, meditate, do something calming. Sleep support. You might take magnesium glycinate 30 minutes before bed, 300 to 400 milligrams. This supports sleep quality. Avoid caffeine afternoon, large meals late at night, intense exercise within 3 hours of bed. Stress management protocol. You're doing 10 to 15 minutes daily of meditation or breathing work. Options: meditation app, Headspace, Calm, Insight Timer, 10 minutes daily. Breathing work, 4-count inhale, 6-count exhale, 10 minutes daily. Time in nature, 30 minutes walking outside, no phone. Journaling, 10 minutes writing about your day or your feelings. You pick one or combine them. The goal is consistent daily practice. This is not optional. Stress management directly impacts hormones, recovery, and health. Common month 1 through 3 mistakes. Here are mistakes people make in the first 3 months. Learn from them. Mistake 1. Going too hard, too fast. You're excited. You want to change everything immediately. You train hard. You eat perfectly. You're strict about sleep. You're consistent. And by week 3, you're burned out. You can't sustain this intensity. Solution: start with sustainable effort. You should be able to do this forever. If you're white-knuckling everything, you're doing too much. Mistake 2. Changing too many things at once. You're changing diet, you're starting training, you're optimizing sleep, you're starting meditation. If something doesn't work, you don't know what caused the problem. Solution: change one thing per week. Week 1, start training. Week 2, change nutrition. Week 3, establish sleep schedule. Week 4, add meditation. Mistake 3, being perfectionist. You eat perfectly for 2 weeks. You have one day where you eat pizza. You think you've ruined everything. You quit. Solution: 80% consistency beats 100% for 2 weeks, then 0. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be consistent. Mistake 4, not measuring progress. You don't take month 1 measurements. You have no baseline. You don't know if you're progressing. You feel like nothing is happening. Solution, measure monthly. Take body composition, strength measurements, resting heart rate, how you feel. You need objective data. Mistake 5, comparing your month 1 to someone else's month 6. You're new to training. Someone else has been training for months. You feel weak or slow or fat by comparison. Solution, compare yourself only to yourself. Your baseline is month 0. You measure against that.
Motivational markers. What to expect. Here's what you'll experience in year 1, month 1 through month 6, so you know what's normal. Week 1, soreness. Your muscles are sore from training they're not used to. This is normal. It fades after a few weeks. Week 2, energy increase. You have more energy. You're sleeping better. Your body is responding. Week 3, strength increase. You can lift more weight. This is motivating. Month 1, visible body composition change. You've lost a few pounds of fat. You might see slight muscle definition developing. Clothes fit differently. Month 2, progress slows slightly. You're not seeing dramatic daily changes anymore, but you're getting stronger. You're feeling better. Stay consistent. Month 3, body composition continues to change. You've lost 10 to 15 pounds. You're visibly different. People comment. Month 4, you notice increased capacity. You can train harder and recover better. You have sustained energy. Month 5, you realize how different you feel. You have energy you forgot you could have. Your mood is better. Sleep is excellent. Month 6, you look back at month 1 and barely recognize yourself. Strength has doubled, energy is high, sleep is great, you feel like a different person. Your month 1 action plan. Here's what you do starting Monday of week 1. Sunday before week 1 starts, take all your baseline measurements, body composition, strength, resting heart rate, blood work if possible, take photos, document everything. Monday, week 1, you do your first resistance training session, lower body focus, follow the protocol I described. You're learning. Form matters more than weight. Tuesday, rest day or gentle walk. Wednesday, week 1, second resistance training session, upper body push. Thursday, 30 minutes moderate intensity cardiovascular work. Friday, third resistance training session, upper body pull. Saturday, rest day or gentle walk. Sunday, rest day. You repeat this week 2 and 3, adding slightly more weight each week. By week 4, you remeasure. You're also immediately eliminating processed foods. You're buying whole foods, vegetables, fruits, proteins, whole grains. You're cooking at home. You're meal planning. You're establishing sleep schedule. Same bedtime, same wake time, every day. You're starting daily meditation or breathing work. 10 minutes, that's it. That's month 1. That's where it starts.